Hi everyone, it's Chris. Welcome back to my parlour, and here I have another op shop haul. I've been back a week, that's all, just a week, and I can't stay away from op shops. And as my sister lives within the same sort of district as my daughter, when I was house sitting for her, lives there, so we went for lunch yesterday. And I couldn't help myself but go into the op shops, and guess where they were? Yes, the ones that I visited when I was staying with my daughter. So I went to those op shops and found quite a few items that I wanted to share with you. When I go op shopping, I usually bring a big trolley with me, and so I can carry it on the train or the bus, whatever I'm using. And yesterday it was the trains, so it's easier to carry my trolley on the trains. And so I collected a few things. A few things I have to show you arrived just before I left to house sit, so I'll show you those as well, because I haven't had a chance myself to look at them because I've just been home all week. So what did I get? Excuse me, I got quite a few things. As you know, I've mentioned a few times, I'm going to be doing my haunted house readings, my cemetery readings. I'm also going to be making bath bombs and things like that to share with you on my channel, and so I've got a few of those to show you. I'm also I've been asked if I could show you my charms, my whole set of charms, and show you how I made this. So I'll be doing that for you, and showing you everything how I have in my charm bag and where I got them from individually, if I can, if it's not going to be too boring for you, because there's hundreds of them. So yeah, I'm going to share what I got now. I've got quite a few things, so I don't know where to start. Well, first of all, I'll start with the item that I received. I won an auction on eBay, which I'm quite pleased with. It's an auction that Salvos have. They have an eBay shop, and they auction off items that they get donated to their shops that are more valuable than just putting in their shops, so they get a better value for them. So I made a bid on this doll here. She was sort of motorized, I suppose you'd call it motorized. She did have a battery there. I haven't put a battery in it to see if she actually works. She rolls along on these little rollers here, as you can see, and she has a little plate, well, more like a little, I don't know, plate. It looks like a plate, but I know it's not. With a little cup here, and something's missing there, but I'll find something to replace that with. But isn't she really cute? Totally vintage, which I really, really like. So I'm going to try and fix her and see if I can get her to move again. But she's a doll that I purchased before I left, and she arrived just on the day that I was leaving. So I left her to unveil for myself when I got home. So also too, you know, I have my tea party girls, so I have some cake plates that I purchased. I'm going to find cakes on AliExpress, plastic cakes to put on them, and this one here as well. I'll show you these two in a minute. This one's so pretty. And to serve those cakes, I found a cake tong. I've got another one as well, but this one was $2 from a church op shop, and I was so pleased to find it. So cake tong to pick up a piece of cake and serve it to whoever is attending my tea parties. So that's that. I also found another egg that I put charms in. I have a blue one as also, very similar to this one, but I found this one. I thought, no, I'll have to bring it home. I found another figurine for my Pick a Man readings. He was only $2. I've taken his price tag off. He's been painted here. That's okay. Still looks like a very charming young man for my Pick a Man readings. So he was also there. Now, as for my bath bombs, I'm going to be mixing all the ingredients in this. It is very heavy glass bowl. It is absolutely gorgeous. I was looking for a bowl to mix all the ingredients in, and I was humming and ahhing, and I'm thinking plastic will probably be best, or glass. But I found this one, and I thought, I'm not going to find another one like it. So I purchased that one to mix up the bicarb and all the other dry ingredients for my bath bombs. So that's that. I'll show you this in a minute. Also got a plate, a magnolia plate to put finished bath bombs on. Also a honeybees plate, again to put bath bombs on. I also found a tray with snowmen, which are fairly thick, which I will put my pack my bath bombs when I finished them, when I've made them, and when I make the bath bombs, I will be loading along with you. So I haven't made bath bombs before, but I want to try them out, and so I thought I'd try them out with you and see how I progress. They can't be that hard, can they? I don't know, maybe they are. Now, my birthday's not yet, but it will be in a couple of months. So I found this doll, Fat Cat. Now, anyone in Australia would know who Fat Cat was, would probably know who Fat Cat was. He was back in the 80s, 70s, late 70s, 80s, up until about 1991, when he was taken off air because, for the silliest reason, because he was too confusing. He was too confusing because no one really knew if he was a boy or a girl. And it confused children apparently. So Fat Cat was taken off air. But most children would know, of the 70s and the 80s, would know that Fat Cat was went to bed with Fat Cat. 7:30, Fat Cat would turn up to bed and say goodnight to all the children, and the children knew it was time to go to bed. That was the premise of Fat Cat. I might leave you a link, if I can find one, of one of his shows. Of course, he's Australian, and he didn't talk. He was very similar to Humphrey B. Bear. Humphrey B. Bear is still very popular and continued on after Fat Cat was removed from television. But in WA, Fat Cat continues on for quite some time. He was a mascot of the telethons that the state of WA had. We all had telethons. We would have entertainers, and people would ring up and donate money, usually to a children's hospital and things like that. Fat Cat is still popular in WA, even though he was cancelled everywhere else. But I found him. There aren't very many around. But of course he was $15. My daughter bought him for my birthday. But of course, now that you have them, they turn up everywhere, don't they? So there's quite a few for sale on eBay and Etsy. Yeah, so he's my mascot for my I'm going to be doing some new readings as well. My curiosity readings. where I'll be doing cats. Cats, yes. So I'm going to find myself some more cats. And that cat is going to be my mascot. Okay, I have a few new charms. A friend of mine who's very creative, 1888 Stars, sent me a few things. I'll show you the other one later when I start doing my bath bombs, but she sent me some bath tea recipes, which is fantastic, and she just put them together so beautifully. But when I start my bath bombs, I'll show you those. But she bought me some little charms. She gave me some little charms. They're really cute. People call them flip-flops, but here in Australia we call them thongs. So that's one for my charm bag. A little penguin. An elephant. I have to work out now what they all mean, don't I? A little witch on a broom. A little witch's ball. I will find out what witch's balls mean. They do have a very specific meaning, so I'll look that up for you. A little witch's ball. It's protection. And love, faith and hope. So that's some little charms for my charm bag. Also too, along with those, she sent me a little packet of items, little bookmarks, because I do love my books. I'll always love my books. I'll always love books. Now, T is very, very creative. She is actually on her channel. You'll find her creations. She does junk journals. Beautiful ones too. I do have a couple that she gifted to me. This here I'm going to place in my bookshelf. And this one too. And I do believe these are little stickers. I haven't opened the packet yet. But little stickers. I would love to use these on my bath bombs. And when I get to those, you'll see what I mean. So I'm very pleased with that. T is so very generous to me. We've been friends since we were children in primary school, and we've remained in contact. We used to write heaps. Tonya, you know her name, T, writes poems, and we used to write poems and share them, and she was better at writing poems than I was. She also writes some beautiful stories, and I have had the privilege of reading those stories, and they're very, very good. And I would like to see her actually publish some of her stories, because they're that good. And I enjoyed reading those ones that she sent to me. Yeah, so thank you, T, so much for your little gifts, and I will share the gift of the bath teas and bath products and things like that when I start my bath bombs. And I'll be using this big bowl, so I'm happy with that. So what else did I find at the op shops? I found this at Savers for $2.99, which is really good. And inside, it's a bag, but has spaces for essential oils, which I'll be using in my bath bombs. So essential oils can just pop into these little sections. Just right enough space for a bath bomb essential oil. So that was quite good. It's a nice little container too. So that came from the Savers down at Islington. I got that one from Islington. found a book, Selected Ghost Stories by M.R. James. I'm not sure how much it's cost me. I think I got this one from a little church op shop on the same day or the day before. I'm not too sure, don't quote me. For about $1, I think it was. So Selected Ghost Stories. So that will be a really nice book to delve into. Not on a night when I'm home by myself. I get a bit scared. And this one here, 100 Tales from Australia's Most Haunted Places. What's that? Popgy. Ben Popgy. And look at that. It's got a bushman's hat on and a sheet. It's rather funny, isn't it? Quite a few stories, 100. So, you know, we've got all these places here to explore. There are some from Adelaide too. So it should be interesting. I'll be looking forward to that one as well. And look at this. He's inside a jail because the a dummy in Albany, was it? Excuse me, I can't see through the screen. A dummy in Albany convict jail, specially placed so that any ghosts you might meet will seem tame by comparison. So that'll be another interesting book. I also found my cool shed. I just love sheds when they're made up, and she sheds, he sheds, he sheds, she sheds. So it's quite a nice little book. That was $2, and so was the ghost book. So that's $2, which is pretty good. I got that from Salvo's yesterday when I was visiting my sister. Another book, Linda Howard, Up Close and Dangerous. And that was $2 as well. So it'll be interesting to read that. I also found a Walder Cousin. And here she is. I'll just move this out of the way so I can bring her in. A Walder Cousin, isn't she pretty? She's going to be used in my haunted house readings. I'm going to make her a bit spooky. I may not get some approval for that, but that's okay. She came in the dress, her little boots, and she's got the chest plate, the solid chest plate here, which in my opinion certainly distinguishes her from other dolls and brings her into the category of Walder Cousins. She also has a little hat as well, but I don't think I'll be putting the hat on her. Not for what I'll be wanting her for in my spooky haunted house readings. So I'm going to make her scary. I may or may not get approval for that, but that's neither here nor there. Is what she's going to be utilised for. I've got another book. This is an interesting book, Playing Dead, True Tales of Fake Suicides by Wendy Lewis. And there's one in here about Adelaide, about people who fake their death for whatever reason, and they get found out. So that'll be interesting. I hope it's not too gory. You know me, I like crime. I don't know, it's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? I like crime stories, but I don't actually like reading about true crime because it's too gory and too scary and too ugh. I did read a book, I'll tell you about it later on, by Judy Nunn, who's an Australian actress, author, and Long Weekend it's called. It was a good book, but I don't want to keep it because there's two stories in there that I didn't particularly like. One because it's too gory, and the other because I didn't like it. But I'll tell you about them anyway. But this one should be interesting, Playing Dead. 25 stories apparently. So, you know, it'll be interesting. So it should be interesting. I don't know when I'll get around to reading it, so I won't tell you when I'll give it a review, but I'll get around to reading it eventually. Now, some other things that I bought. A lemon squeezer. Put the lemon in here. Squeeze it down through there. That was $2.99 from Savers at Islington. I've got lots of things in here. Two cake servers. Two cake servers. Both at $2.99 each. So it's not too bad, pretty good. Quite happy with those. So I got the tongs and I got the cake server as well. So I can be using either one for my readings. And everything else needs to be unwrapped. So I'll take them out one by one. A little decanter of some sort. Be great for oils. It was $2.99. Has a nice little stopper as well. So that's one. Oh, I've been looking for one and I didn't think I would find one, but I did. So I'm really happy. Mortar and pestle, what they like to call it. That was $4.99 for the set. So, and it looks nice, doesn't it? It looks vintage. So I was happy with that. A jug, lovely, $3.99, which is pretty good. It's quite a good size too. Hold about 500 mils, maybe even a litre. A bit deceptive sometimes. That's quite good. Ding. Vinegar bottle for $2.99. An oil bottle, $2.99. Again, for my bath bombs and bath products. I'll put that in there just so it doesn't fall over. Two more things. Tea bag holder. $2.99. So I'm using tea bags in my bath as well. And lastly, love it, spritzer. Wonderful. $3.99. This is the last one I picked up. I thought it was the only one there, and I thought, oh, wow, I've got to get one of those. And it's I don't think it's that old, but I don't know. I don't think it's that old, to be honest, because this is plastic. It's not metal. So I don't think it's that old, but it looks old, doesn't it? And it looks like one of the originals. So I'm quite happy with it. Whatever it is, doesn't matter how old it is, so long as it looks and feels like the part that I wanted to play in a vintage scenario, you know, when I'm making my bath bombs. So yeah, so that's the latest haul. It's quite a big one. I don't know where I'm going to put everything. Some things I might or may not keep, I don't know yet. It's one of those things, you know, you buy them and you think, yeah, I'd love to have that, love to keep that, but you change your mind sometime along the way, or they don't quite fit in. We'll see. But she's definitely going to be made into somewhere spooky. She's going to be called the Weeping Woman. Do you know what the story about the Weeping Woman is? I'll leave a bit of a link for that as well. The Weeping Woman, she's going to play a pivotal role in my haunted house readings. So I'm going to tie-dye her dress so it's more appropriate for the age and storytelling. Yeah, and as for the bath bombs, I'm going to be learning as I go. So some will work out, some may not. It all depends. So I'm hoping you'll come along on the journey with me, and maybe we might learn something together. You never know. And I'll be doing sharing my charms and how I made one of these in another video. So look forward to that. It's been requested, so I will do my utmost to promise that I will do one of those videos for you. So that's it, guys. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for while I'm ranting and raving. I do a bit that sometimes. But thank you. And until next time, so many blessings.